Hello students. So far we have studied the structure of the male and the female gametes. In this video, let us study the process of fertilization, that is the fusion of gametes. In this video, you will find the steps involved in fertilization. You can check the description for the subtopics.
Let's study the process of fertilization in humans. Fertilization is the process of fusion of male and female gametes. The haploid gametes fuse together, resulting in the formation of the diploid zygote. Fertilization is also known as syngamy. The word syngamy literally means fusion of the gametes. The fertilization in human beings takes place inside the female body. Hence, it is known as internal fertilization. Where does the fertilization occur? Fertilization takes place in this curved region of the fallopian tube. This region is known as ampulla. So, ampulla is the site of fertilization. Let us understand how fertilization takes place. The ovary releases secondary oocyte during ovulation. The secondary oocyte is collected by the fimbriae of the fallopian tube and it starts moving through the fallopian tube. It reaches the curved region or the ampulla of the fallopian tube about 12 to 24 hours after ovulation. The secondary oocyte, which is the unfertilized egg or the female gamete, is viable for about 24 hours. When sexual intercourse takes place, the male deposits semen in the vagina of the female. This process is known as insemination. A single ejaculate of semen contains about 200 to 400 million sperms. The sperms are viable, that is, capable of fertilization for about 24 to 48 hours. The coagulated semen which is deposited in the vagina liquefies and the sperms become active and they start moving through the female reproductive system to reach the secondary oocyte in the ampulla. The process of fertilization can be understood in these four steps. First, the movement of the sperms towards the egg, the entry of the sperm into the egg, the activation of the ovum, and finally the fusion of the egg and the sperm. Let us understand each of these steps in details. The first step is the movement of sperms towards the egg. During insemination, millions of sperms are deposited in the vagina, but all of them do not reach the egg. About 50% of the sperms are either destroyed or broken or demotilized. The remaining sperms undergo a process known as capacitation. This process of capacitation requires about 5 to 6 hours. What happens in this process? The acrosome membrane of the sperm becomes very thin. Calcium ions enter into the sperm and the tails start showing rapid whiplash movements. The sperm is now capacitated. Once they are capacitated, the sperms become very active. They start moving from the vagina through the uterus into the fallopian tubes. These capacitated sperms swim because of the rapid whiplash movements of their tails, but their movement is also assisted by the female body. The vestibular secretions which are produced by vestibular glands of the female enhance the sperm motility. Also, the prostaglandins present in the female body activate the sperms, and the contractions of the uterus and the fallopian tubes also enable the sperms to swim further. These contractions are produced because of the action of oxytocin. After capacitation, the sperms reach the ampulla within about 5 minutes. The next step in fertilization is the entry of the sperm into the egg. After capacitation, Many millions of sperms have reached the secondary oocyte or the unfertilized ovum. But the ovum is going to be fertilized only by a single sperm. How does this happen? All the sperms which have reached the secondary oocyte or the unfertilized ovum come to lie against it. In this picture, we can see all these sperms which have reached the secondary oocyte. Now, to enter into the secondary oocyte and fertilize it, the sperms need to break many barriers. These barriers are nothing but the membranes which are surrounding the secondary oocyte. The outermost membrane is the corona radiata. For breaking or penetrating the corona radiata, the acrosome of the sperm releases many corona penetrating enzymes such as hyaluronidase. The cells of the corona radiata are bound to each other by hyaluronic acid. This enzyme hyaluronidase will help to dissolve the hyaluronic acid so that the sperm can make its way through these cells and break the corona radiata to reach the next layer, that is the zona pellucida. Now, how does it penetrate the zona pellucida? For this, we must understand an important reaction known as the fertilizing-antifertilizing reaction. The female gamete produces fertilizin, which is a glycoprotein, and the male gamete produces antifertilizin, which is an acid protein. Fertilizin and antifertilizin bind to each other. Because of this reaction, the sperms are able to stick to the surface of the ovum. This reaction is also known as the compatibility reaction. Because of the fertilizing-antifertilizing reaction, the sperms now stick to the surface of the secondary oocyte at the zona pellucida. Now they need to penetrate through the zona pellucida in order to enter inside the ovum. For this, another reaction starts, which is known as the acrosome reaction. Let's see what happens in this reaction. As the head of the sperm touches the zona pellucida, the covering of the acrosome breaks open to release hydrolytic enzymes such as acrosin or zona lysin. This enzyme will help to break the zona pellucida in order to enter inside the secondary oocyte. The point where the head of the sperm comes in contact with the zona pellucida is known as the point of contact. At the point of contact, a reaction is initiated which is known as the egg reaction. What happens in this reaction? A small conical structure is formed on the egg membrane. This structure is known as the fertilization cone or the reception cone. The sperm head comes in contact with this cone. At this point, the plasma membranes of the egg as well as the sperm dissolve and the nucleus of the sperm and the centrioles can enter inside this egg or the secondary oocyte. The plasma membrane of the secondary oocyte is known as the vitelline membrane. As soon as one of the sperm head touches the vitelline membrane, a cortical reaction is initiated. The sperm receptors on the zona pellucida are deactivated so that no second sperm can enter inside the secondary oocyte. The vitelline membrane now converts itself into another membrane called the fertilization membrane. Because of the fertilization membrane, other sperms cannot enter inside the secondary oocyte and polyspermy is avoided. The next stage of fertilization is activation of ovum. In the process of oogenesis, we have learned that during ovulation, the secondary oocyte is released from the ovaries. This secondary oocyte is arrested in metaphase 2 stage of meiosis. Whether the meiosis will be resumed and completed depends on whether fertilization takes place or not. As the sperm head touches the vitelline membrane, the secondary oocyte is activated. This is the activation of the unfertilized ovum. As it gets activated, the meiosis II is now completed. As a result, a second polar body is formed. This polar body may be found in the perivitelline space surrounding the fertilization membrane. The germinal vesicle or the nucleus of the secondary oocyte swells and is now converted into a structure known as the female pronucleus. This stage of the ovum is the actual ovum or the true ovum. The last step in fertilization is the fusion of the egg and the sperm. Just like the female pronucleus, now the male pronucleus is also formed. The male pronucleus is formed from the sperm nucleus, which is present in the head of the sperm. Now, the male and the female pronuclei start moving towards each other. Their surrounding membranes degenerate. Chromosomal pairing takes place in them, and the two pronuclei fuse together to form a single nucleus. This single nucleus is known as synkaryon. The word karyon stands for nucleus. Synkaryon means a single nucleus which is formed by the fusion of the two pronuclei. This process of formation of synkaryon is known as syngamy or karyogamy. Thus, the first cell of new life, that is zygote, is formed. Now, the zygote needs to divide and redivide to form multicellular structure. For this cell division, what is required is a centriole. The sperm provides the proximal centriole for the cell division, and this is how the process of fertilization is completed. Why is the process of fertilization important? As we know, the secondary oocyte has been arrested in metaphase 2 stage of meiosis. This process of meiosis will be resumed and completed only if fertilization takes place. Thus, because of fertilization, the secondary oocyte completes oogenesis and transforms into the mature ovum. The male and the female gametes are haploid. The diploid chromosome number is restored in the zygote only because of fertilization. For division of zygote, centrioles are required which are lacking in the female gamete. These centrioles are provided by the male gamete, hence fertilization is important. Also, the sex of the offspring is determined because of fertilization. And the chromosomal mixing and pairing which takes place during fertilization brings about variations which are very important for the process of evolution. So this was the process of fertilization. In the next videos, we shall learn how the zygote divides further and how the embryo development takes place. Please like and share this video and do subscribe to the channel. Keep watching. Bye.